Hi everyone, thanks for joining our pre-event live stream here on YouTube. We are from the University of Manchester, Faculty of Science and Engineering, and this is our pre-event YouTube live stream because we have our Postgraduate Research Open Day next week on Wednesday. So you're probably here because you've registered, and we're really looking forward to seeing you at the event. I've got the YouTube live right here, and I can see when your questions come through, so please feel free to start sending your questions in. This event stream is really just about like an opportunity for you to ask questions ahead of the event, because you might be confused. You've never been to a Postgraduate Research Open Day before. You might not know what to expect, but we're here to answer any questions you have because we basically planned the event. So we should probably know all the answers, but we'll try to answer as much as we can. But just to introduce myself, my name's Avtarnika Sharma. I work in the marketing and recruitment team here in the Faculty of Science and Engineering at the University of Manchester, and yeah, my job is really to promote our PhD programs or any postgraduate research programs that we offer, and I play a big role in the planning and marketing of the in-person and virtual open days that we run. I'm also joined by two of my colleagues. So Olivia, do you want to introduce yourself, what team you work in?
Hi everyone, my name's Olivia Mullally. I am the Postgraduate Research Admissions and Recruitment Coordinator here in the Faculty of Science and Engineering. I look after natural sciences, and I also have a colleague, Xingyi, who looks after the engineering side of admissions. Yeah, so I'll be on the physics and astronomy stand if any of you guys will be joining us next Wednesday in person. So really looking forward to meeting everyone then.
And Rahul?
Hi, I'm Rahul. I'm a final year PhD student in the Department of Earth and Environmental Sciences, School of Natural Sciences in the Faculty of Science and Engineering. I'm a volcanic petrologist, which means I study the chemistry and textures of rocks that come from volcano to understand what goes on within the volcano in the Earth's crust. I'll be at the Earth and Environmental Science stand next Wednesday, so excited to meet some of you there.
Amazing, yeah, and actually Rahul has worked both of our previous open days, so actually more than me as well, because I only did the one last year when I got this job. So yeah, Rahul got experience working the open day. This is his third time doing this big event, so he's got experience of actually being there and, you know, providing that advice and information. So yeah, let's get right into it. But yeah, if you have any questions about the event, how to get here, what to expect on the day, any questions in general, we'll try and answer them as much as we can. We've actually got one already. Someone's asked, where on campus will the open day be held, and is there like a campus map or a guide available? So you want to take this, Olivia?
Yeah, so it's going to be held in our Nancy Rothwell building from 12 till 5 p.m. next Wednesday. There will be a campus map available. You can look on our website, but I think someone can also try and put it in the chat, or we can include it in the email that we send after this event so that you'll have that link readily available.
Amazing. Yeah, it is pretty easy to get to as well. It depends where you're coming from, like in Manchester. But yeah, we've in our email communications, we've put the location of Nancy Rothwell building as well. That is the place to arrive at the start. If you're arriving anytime between 12 to 2 even, it depends what time you're arriving, but Nancy Rothwell building is where everything's going to be at the start of the event. So please come to that building. There are 2 entrances, don't get too scared. Or actually there's 3, but yeah, where there will be signage to tell you where to go. We'll just be on the ground floor, like in the main foyer kind of area, so yeah, you won't miss us. There'll be like stands for each department set up, so it should be fairly easy to get to. Yeah, I'm just have a look if there are any more questions coming up. Oh, there's another one. Someone's asked, how can I make the most of the day? What are the sessions I definitely need to make? Yeah, Rahul, what would you say to that?
Yeah, so there are a bunch of sessions to look out for. So there's going to be 10 departmental stands, and maybe a bit more depending on what's available. Definitely head to your departmental stand, talk to the ambassador as well as the departmental staff there. They can give you a lot of information about the different kind of programs available in the department, the funding sources, the current research and prospective research in the department. There are also information sessions. Avtarnika, if you can give me the name,
So the actual session that you definitely should make is actually called, it's how to apply for a PhD talk. So the actual session is called How to Apply for a PhD. And it's going to be like really close to that event space. It's being delivered by our deputy head of PGR, and there will also be some other staff like from admissions talking about, it's kind of what the name suggests, it's how to apply for a PhD, and I think that's really crucial. No matter what stage of your application process you're at, maybe you're already in the process of applying, but I think this session is really important. I would say it's almost like mandatory just because of how valuable it is. So I'd really recommend coming to that talk. It starts at 1 o'clock. So if you arrive between 12 to 1, that's fine, but 1 o'clock, please make sure you head to that talk. We'll have a lot of colleagues down, like on the ground floor, like sending you to the right place to go. So I really recommend going for that.
There's also a PGI panel, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
So me and my colleagues, people who've been attending these events and like being on the panel for the past 3-4 years, we would be there. So that's a good opportunity for you to ask any sort of questions that you want. You would have gathered a lot of information talking to the people at your stands. So this would be a good opportunity to, think about it and then ask specific questions to the panelists as well.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
And then, as I've been informed, people are also expected to go to their departmental buildings or like rooms and stuff, where you get an intro about the department's research and the facilities and stuff. You've got the academic head of PGRs who's going to brief you, and then you also have the PGR ambassadors supporting you, guiding you on what's available in the department and things. Look out for all of these events. They're all going to be helpful.
Yeah, they'll all be really, really useful. So I definitely recommend looking at those. So we've got another question. Could you talk about the FSC Bicentenary Scholarship? Greetings from Peru. You want to take that, Olivia?
Hello, Peru. So Bicentenary Scholarship is something that came in last year because we obviously celebrated our 200 years of being a university, which is a great achievement.
Awesome.
It's our second year of running it, basically. It's a fully funded studentship, so that means it covers your tuition fees, it covers a stipend, which essentially is like a wage that you can live off. You also get a research grant, so that's money that you can use towards your project. For example, some projects, like you might need to buy loads of raw materials, or you do a lot of research.
Fieldwork and travel and stuff.
Yeah, you can use it to go to conferences, which I'm sure you have done. We have just advertised over 40 projects. If you guys are interested in that, please head to Find a PhD and have a look. We are now receiving applications, so if that's something you're interested in, please do put in an application, and we look forward to assessing it.
That's amazing, yeah. I mean, you're already ahead of the game if you're asking about the Bicentenary Scholarships. You're going to see it a lot at the open day. We're advertising it in the talk. It's a big, there's a whole slide dedicated to it. Even our funding leaflets that we hand out with information on funding, if you flip it, the other side is literally just a Bicentenary Scholarship ad. So we are trying to promote it as much as possible. So thank you so much for that question. Hopefully that's helped other people on this stream as well. We've got another one here. Will there be opportunities to speak directly with potential supervisors or current PhD students? So I think you've already kind of covered this.
So we definitely have an opportunity to talk to current PhD students. There's going to be 1 or 2 people from each department in the stands as well as in the departmental sessions. There's not going to be too much opportunity talking to potential supervisors, but you would have the opportunity to talk to the departmental head of the PGR, who has a good idea about the kind of research that's going on in the department, the potential supervisors, and some first-hand information about who's hiring and whatnot. But the departmental website as well as the faculty website has all the information about the projects that are available, people who are hiring and whatnot. But a good thing would be to go look at the department website, look at the contacts of all the supervisors. You would also potentially find their research page or like a link to their ResearchGate or Google Scholar or whatnot. Go have a look at the kind of research they've been involved in the last couple of years or so. And then you could potentially contact them before the open day. And if they're interested and they're available, you could potentially have a chat with them.
Definitely, because you're coming to the building anyway. So if you could independently you want to meet with them, that's totally fine as well. I would say when it comes to supervisors specifically, we've actually got a brochure that we sent out in a lot of our email communications. We can put the link in the chat as well for you to revisit, but that actually shows which academics from each department are going to be there. Some of them do supervise and are accepting PhD students, but again, depends whether you're interested in their research area or that project. But yeah, it kind of like depends, but definitely PhD researchers. There will be at least one from each department present. When we keep saying PGR ambassadors or ambassadors, they basically are current PhD researchers at the university who will be there to answer any questions. They'll be there the whole day basically. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. We've got another one from someone. Someone's asked, how would you recommend I prepare for the open day? Is there anything I should do in advance? Yeah, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, so we've sort of partially answered in the previous thing. The best approach would be to look at who's hiring, what are the research topics, but most importantly, go to find a PhD and see what projects are available. If you're quite enthusiastic, contact the potential supervisor, see if you can schedule a meeting with them. Even like a brief 10-15 minutes chat would be quite helpful. If you're someone who's interested in like interdisciplinary research, for instance, it would be good to look at the research of different departments. For example, if you're interested in say the interface between like biology and chemistry, or for instance, it would be good to look at something there. Or if you're interested in say mathematical physics or things like that, it would be good to see related people in both the maths and the physics department, and that can be a useful thing. So you would know what are the different stands that you need to visit and stuff. The department, the university promotes a lot of interdisciplinary research, which could mean that if you are interested in a particular topic, the actual department which is funding it might be different than what you think. So we do have these interdisciplinary institutes, say Photon Science Institute for an example, where you have people who come from physics background, chemistry background, electrical engineering, chemical engineering and whatnot. So you might be affiliated with the chemistry department, but you might be working on electrical signals in molecules and things like that. So it would be good to visit all of these interdisciplinary institutes, websites and stuff and see what they've been up to as well. That might be a good way to start preparing. Do you think?
I think also important to try and plan your route beforehand and make sure that you do arrive on time. It's quite a jam-packed schedule for the day, and you want to make sure that you get the most out of the event and you've not missed any of the events. I think going to the department sessions will also be really important, because it's quite rare to be able to meet up with the head of PGR. So that's a dedicated time where they can actually explain what the department has to offer, the various research groups that will be in that department, and also there's sometimes department-specific funding that might not be covered in the faculty talk at 1 o'clock. You could also talk with them afterwards if there is a certain topic that you're really interested in, and they could maybe direct you to a potential supervisor that also is interested in that research area. Familiarise yourself with the brief of the day, arrive early if you can. Nancy Rothwell is quite a big building, so it's good to make sure you know where you're going before the event starts, basically.
I totally agree. I would say, especially like if you're traveling from somewhere far, I recommend like coming as like at 12 o'clock earliest, just so you can make the most of the day while you're here. Even if like you attend all our talks and you've gone to your department talk, you can see a bit of the campus on your own, have a walk through Manchester by your own time. You can kind of like design the day according to yourself. So I'd recommend coming early just so you're like calm and you're not like rushing for any talk or anything. Speaking of getting ready, we've got a question from someone else who's asking, would you recommend dressing formally for this event? No? Okay.
Just wear anything comfortable.
Fair enough. That totally makes sense. But I get why you would ask this question. Don't worry about dressing formally. I don't think we will be either. We'll all be like in t-shirts and jeans. I don't know about the head of PGRs and academics.
From past experience, not many people dress formally.
I guess in science and engineering we're pretty relaxed. Don't worry too much about dressing formally. We've got a big question here. I don't know if we've mentioned them before in the live stream, but someone's asked, what are CDTs? So yeah, who wants to go?
Yeah. You want to go first? Or
I can briefly explain, and then Rahul can obviously
I'd like
add. So CDT stands for a Centre of Doctoral Training. The difference between a CDT and a PhD is CDTs normally are 4 years and they work on a cohort basis. So it's quite nice, say if you have come straight from a bachelor's degree and you're used to being in that big group and having other people to work with and to, you know, share common knowledge. A lot of the CDTs are funded via like a grant, and it'll also include industrial contacts. So for example, most CDT projects you will get an industrial co-supervisor, which is quite good if after your PhD you were looking for jobs. If you've already got an industrial co-supervisor, that's someone you know who can help you find your new job basically. They also will include a lot of them either a year of like a taught programme, or for example Saturn CDT, that has like a 3-month nuclear boot camp. So a lot of the students in the first and second cohort didn't actually have that much nuclear knowledge, but the whole idea of the nuclear boot camp is we get everyone up to the same, basically the same point knowledge wise, and then you can go off and start your project. It's quite nice because a lot of the CDTs will also do conferences, so it's a good way to talk about your project while there's an audience of people from industry. So again, it's that networking. So don't know if maybe I've mentioned everything, Rahul.
So the other thing is, if you start a PhD program that's not a CDT, you need to have a clear idea, or at least have a basic idea about what you want to do for your PhD and things. CDT gives you an opportunity to, you know, work around different kinds of topics and stuff. You've got a cohort of, I don't know, 10, 15 people maybe.
Yeah, usually.
So you have an opportunity to exchange ideas and like discuss potential projects and stuff before you actually start working. Whereas if you start a regular PhD program, it's 3.5 years. So you don't have much time to start preparing. So you need to get started with your project immediately. But with CDT, you get this additional opportunity to, you know, float around some ideas and refine your ideas before you actually start your project.
That
so that could be a good opportunity as well.
100%. When it comes to CDTs offered like by Manchester or in conjunction with the University of Manchester, we've got like around 6, I think, that are advertised on a brochure, the link that we sent earlier. But the ones that you can see at the open day, there are 4 of them. So one of them is called the RAINS CDT. There's also the AI for decision making CDT. We can put the names in the chat as well, just so you know you've got the exact names because they're quite long. But yeah, there are quite a couple of CDTs that will be available. There will be a specific talk happening at around 4 o'clock dedicated to the CDTs that are to do with materials. So there's one CDT called 2D Materials of Tomorrow, and there's another CDT called Materials 4.0. So there are 2 kind of CDT programs that we offer, and there's like a joint talk happening at 4 o'clock. So that would be really useful if you're interested in kind of research areas that are relevant to materials. That would be really useful. But yeah, thanks for asking that question. Hopefully we've described CDTs sufficiently there. We've got another question from someone who's asked, are there any sessions focused specifically on funding, scholarships, studentships, etc.? So Olivia, you know the talk that we're doing with the How to Apply talk? I guess some of the slides will cover that, like the kind of like what scholarships we offer. But yeah, could you like briefly explain like the type of fundings that include, like, I guess we could say faculty level, school level, and industry? Or project-specific funding?
So yeah, we obviously at the University of Manchester we have a variety of scholarships to offer. Faculty-wise, we have the President's Scholarship, we have Dean's Scholarship. There's also a scholarship called PGRTA, which involves teaching. So you do the PhD part-time, but then you're also employed by the university as a teaching assistant. So there are faculty ones. There's also Bicentenary, which is a scholarship that we're running this year. All of these ones run on a nomination basis, so you need to work closely with the supervisor, and that's why we always encourage you to talk to the supervisor before applying, to express your interest. for funding opportunities, the supervisor needs to submit that nomination form, and then it's looked at by a variety of panels. So the department will look at it, and then faculty will also look at it. So that's our faculty funding. School level funding, there's also a variety of funding there. Majority of them are 3.5 years, and will cover your fees and stipend, and also give you a research budget that you can use towards your project. Again, a lot of them are also on a nomination basis. So again, you'll hear me saying this a lot, but it's really important to talk to your supervisor, because a lot of the time it's them that are putting you forward for that funding. 100%. We also have a lot of industrial sponsors. So for example, we have a funding scheme called EPSRC DLA. So a lot of these will be advertised on Find a PhD. So please do monitor Find a PhD regularly, because we do update that as soon as new projects come in. There'll also be standalone industrial studentships as well. And again, advertised on Find a PhD or jobs.ac.uk. Sometimes supervisors will also have their own funding. So you won't find that out if you don't contact them.
That's true.
So again, it's really important. Please contact the supervisor and discuss any funding opportunities. But you can also discuss with us on the stands at 12 o'clock if there are specific schemes that you're really interested in and you want to be nominated for. We can go in depth for the ones that you might be eligible for. And then obviously in the 1 o'clock talk, my manager Sandra will go into detail as well, and Carlos, who is our admissions lead, they will talk about the various studentships that we offer as well.
Definitely,
Just want to add one point. So since I'm an international student, I face this thing. While all international students are eligible for the faculty or school level funding, there are restrictions on departmental funding and PGRTA, given the visa restrictions.
Of course,
So it's better to talk to someone from the admissions team before you start applying for any of these funding.
100%, so I would say like that's really important to keep in mind, like the funding, questions. I would say when, like, to tie in back to that question we got about how to prepare, I would say have a look at our search for funding website. So we put a link to the kind of like the search function that has all our scholarships listed, and I recommend like going through those pages, seeing how to apply, and then you can come and ask questions to anyone from admissions at the open day. So I'd recommend like having a look at those websites. But also like, we'll cover funding, not just at the 1 o'clock, how to apply for a PhD talk, but also I think in the departments, the head of PGRs will talk a bit about what kind of departmental specific funding there is. You can definitely ask questions there. But admission staff would be the best people to go to. There will be at least one person on each stand from each department. It would be best to just go to the department you're interested in and talk to admission staff. You can also ask PhD researchers who are currently with us how they funded their PhD, because they actually gave the application. They went through that process. They interviewed for the funding, they actually went through all of that. So definitely ask them about it as well. So we've got another question. It might be the last one that we tackle. This one is, what advice would you give to someone who's just starting to explore their PhD options? So what advice would you give?
Doing a PhD is a big commitment. So first thing is you need to ask yourself whether you're ready to invest the next 3.5-4 years of your life doing the exact same thing. It also requires a lot of motivation you need to keep your motivation sustained. There's nobody else who's going to motivate you throughout your PhD. So you need to think about all those. Doing a PhD is also like relocating to a different city if you don't stay in the same city. So you need to think about those as well. But these are the non-academic things you need to worry about. So the other thing you need to worry about academically would be your supervisor, the kind of, the mentorship that they offer. Everyone has their own, style of being a supervisor. If you don't find the right combination, it's going to be a disaster. Let's say you want someone who's involved quite a lot in your project, but you choose a supervisor who's more of a hands-off person. It's not going to work. So it's good to, talk to them and figure out what sort of
Yeah.
like mentorship strategy works for them and
Right,
things
yeah.
like that. It would also be nice to get the contacts of current PhD students in the department who's working with the potential supervisor, and then have a chat with them about the environment in the department, the group, and the
Yeah.
supervisor and things like that. These are like homework that you can do before you actually think of applying.
Yeah.
You just need to send an email to the supervisor, and like not a cold email, but then something, write a decent email to the
Yeah.
supervisor and tell them that you're interested, but you want to talk to their students and stuff and gauge how things are. I'm pretty sure everyone would be interested in doing that.
Yeah.
So these are few things you can do as a homework before you start
Yeah.
applying for your PhD. Yeah.
No, that's really good advice. I would say like, I think coming to the open day as well is such a good step. Of course, like I'd say obviously come to the in-person open day, but also we've got a virtual open day on 12th of November, so the week after the in-person open day. So I'd say come to that one as well, just because I know you might think it's like, oh, they're going to be a repetition, but I promise you it won't. They might be the same academics, but you can actually ask questions maybe that you didn't think of at the in-person open day, or I don't know, you just thought of some new questions. There'll be more admission staff as well at the virtual open day. So yeah, if you really want to like get all the knowledge and information, this is the month. Like we only run like this open day style event like once a year, so we do an in-person open day and a virtual open day, and it's in the same 2 weeks in November. So like this is the time to like really engage with that kind of stuff. So I'll see if we've got any other questions coming up. I'll just have a look. No, we haven't got any more questions. So I think, I guess before wrapping up, I'll just say I really hope to see you guys at the open day. It might be a bit like daunting at first, like, but don't worry, like we're really friendly people who will be present there. Even if you're like the first person there, don't worry. We've run quite a few open days. We've participated. We have an undergraduate open day as well. We run 4 times a year, and myself and my colleagues, we work at those events, which are much bigger scale and like a lot more like crazy, but ours aren't that bad. So yeah, don't feel too scared. Like just talk to anyone. You'll see like I can talk about it. The researchers, so PhD researchers will be wearing like t-shirts that have Hello Tomorrow written on it, which is like on the branding on the mugs as well. So yeah, you can spot them by seeing them wear those black t-shirts. Staff will be wearing yellow lanyards mainly, but also like students in the building wear it as well. So yeah, don't get too confused. I think you'll be able to tell who the staff members are. We'll all be situated in that foyer area. So yeah, just come to Nancy Rockwell building between 12 to 1, preferably 12 would be even better. 1 o'clock is the How to Apply talk, so make sure you attend that. I'll just see if there are any final questions as well. No, I think that's everything. Yeah, thank you so much for joining this live stream, and I really hope we see you guys next Wednesday as well as the Wednesday after that for the virtual open day. But yeah, the in-person open day should be really good. So yeah, thank you guys, and thanks Olivia and Rahul for joining me today. Yeah, hope to see you next week. I'll be there as well, so you'll see, actually Olivia and Rahul as well, so you see all 3 of us.
We'll see you all next week.
See ya. Bye-bye guys. Bye.
Bye.